For over 6 centuries, the Ottoman Empire stood as one of the greatest powers on earth, stretching from the deserts of Arabia to the gates of Vienna. But behind the golden domes of Istanbul and the silk-draped halls of Topkapi Palace lay a world of blood, ambition, betrayal, and conquest. 1. The rise built on ruthlessness. The empire's foundation in the 13th century was soaked in war. Osman Friz and his successors rose not through diplomacy, but through relentless raids, enslavement, and forced conversions. The Ottomans' early success relied on the Ghazi warriors, fanatical fighters who believed slaughtering infidels was a sacred duty. Villages that resisted were burned, populations were displaced. The message was clear: submit or perish. 2. The devshirme, a human tax. One of the darkest institutions of Ottoman rule was the devshirme, or blood tax. Every few years, Ottoman agents swept through Christian villages in the Balkans, seizing boys as young as 8. Torn from their families, they were converted to Islam, trained as soldiers or bureaucrats, and forbidden to see their parents again. Many became elite janissaries, loyal only to the Sultan, but their loyalty came at the cost of stolen childhoods and erased identities. 3. The harem, power and prison. The Sultan's palace shimmered with opulence, but the harem was both a sanctuary and a cage. Women from across the empire, often enslaved or gifted, were brought to serve the Sultan's desires or political designs. Behind the silk curtains lay jealous rivalries, poisonings, and manipulation, where women plotted for their sons to inherit the throne. 4. Fratricide, the brother's blood. Perhaps the most shocking tradition of all was imperial fratricide. To secure power, new sultans were encouraged, even required, to kill their brothers. Sultan Mehmed III executed 19 of his brothers on the night of his coronation, their tiny bodies buried beneath palace floors. It was state policy. 1 life to save 1,000, they said, but it left the empire haunted by ghosts of royal blood. 5. Conquest and control. Under sultans like Suleiman the Magnificent, the Ottoman Empire became a global superpower, yet its expansion left millions dead or enslaved. Cities were looted, Christian and Muslim alike. In Constantinople, 1453, the streets ran red. Survivors were sold in markets. Even as the Ottomans built mosques of unmatched beauty, their empire rested on the broken backs of conquered peoples. 6. The fall, shadows of its own making. By the 19th century, the empire's brutality turned inward. Corruption rotted its core, and revolts erupted across the Balkans. The sick man of Europe clung to life through repression, culminating in one of history's darkest chapters, the Armenian Genocide, 1915, when over 1 million Armenians were massacred or marched to death in the deserts. The empire finally collapsed after World War I, leaving behind a legacy of splendor and scars that still shape the modern Middle East.